series. Today's video is video number 51, and I am Kiana Sage. And this whole video series is to help people get in alignment. Now, I posted this yesterday on my LinkedIn and Instagram, and I'm not a marketed person, but you all could see how being in alignment is a rare thing. A lot of people don't want to do the work to get in alignment. And the truth is there's a lot of growing pains that go with getting into alignment because most of us have not been taught, and we have been conditioned into patterns of behavior and ways of being that are not in alignment with the natural laws. And so, therefore, when we are realigning to the organic, natural states of the natural laws, it causes growing pains. And growing pains can literally happen when you start the spiritual journey. So it's not puberty, it literally is growing pains. And so I have three things that I think would be very helpful for you to be aware of. Because I think a lot of times when people are in pain and physical pain, and if you watch my videos, heavy metal toxicity is something I have been cleansing now for 4 or 5 years, but I've known about it for 6. But before then, before I found out what the actual issue is, from misdiagnosis to misdiagnosis to misdiagnosis and all these things, the amount of physical pain that people have when they have extreme heavy metals, even little heavy metals is painful, but I had extreme heavy metals in my system, cause a lot of pain. Because heavy metals actually send your system into incongruent patterns, and those patterns are very painful. So what I would say is that growing pains, getting back into alignment, the one thing I absolutely know for certain through my own personal experience and through being in extreme pain on a scale of 0 to 10, 10, that when you bring presence into your way of being, the pain diminishes. Now, I had a serious injury over 12 years ago where I had a neck injury, and the doctors didn't want to do anything but either surgery or pain meds, and I didn't want to do either of those. So, this is when I really learned the power of presence, because when I do my work, when I'm with clients like you, and I'm one-on-one, it's pure presence energy. I'm a consciously aware, but I'm not, unless I'm taking notes, I won't remember anything from a discussion with a client ever. Maybe little things as they might apply to me, but not anything about the other person. If you talk to me 2 weeks from to that time, I won't remember anything really from our call unless I took notes on it. So what I know is that when you have pain and you could be present, the pain goes away, totally goes away, stops. And when I realized that, I just knew that that was my way out of pain. So I would work on being present all the time. Little did I know like how it would completely transform my life. But I will tell you this, that pain goes away when you are present. That means you're not in the past, you're not in the future, you're right in the present moment, in the circuit of life. And this is the other thing. Point number 2, don't stop living your life because you have growing pains. Like, you must be in the circulation of life and really know, like, what is your attitude towards life, because that really distinguishes how you move forward. And I wish I would have had somebody to tell me that back when I was not feeling good. But I will say this, that it is really helpful to have a point of direction. So when you're in the pain and you're sitting in the pain and you're feeling discomfort, you're feeling more than discomfort, you're feeling pain. What's the next? What are you looking forward to? So for me, when I was in extreme pain, I made a list of all the things I was going to do when I was out of pain. And that became my my focus of direction when the pain would get super high. Mind you, like this, I had a dislocation of C1, C2 in my neck with a stress fracture, exceptionally painful. I worked the entire time through because I realized when I was on my calls with my sessions, I had no pain. So when I was in no pain, I was fine. So I would work because all my work is present moment work. That's presence. So get present with life, get in the circuit of life, and then have a point of direction. So as soon as I hung up the phone and I had to take care of me again, and I was focused on my physical body again, the pain would come right back. So it really is a practice to become present. I feel like I've mastered it. I have mastered being present. Um, does that mean that things don't bother me? No. But what's really important is that you have a point of direction when you're in pain. So, for example, I took the cold plunge and I brought it down to a really much lower temperature. So, we incrementally have been lowering it. Well, I lowered it like 8 to 10 degrees, which is not recommended, but that's what I did. And so now when I get in the cold plunge, I can feel the pins and needles. It hurts. Like I could feel the discomfort. But you must have something that you focus on besides just the agony that you are discomfort in the pain. But what is it that you're focused on? I'm focused on my breath. I'm focused on health. I have a mantra. I have an affirmation. I know that my ultimate goal is health and wellness and less inflammation because we know that inflammation influences how the body systems are operating. So, growing pains happen when you're getting back into alignment that you need to be in. So most of us are, even those of us who are healing, most of us have incongruent things that are happening in our physical bodies. Those all can be healed, but you must have a focus on healing. You can't be focused on the pain because the pain is going to cause constriction and resistance, and that focus influences every part of your life. In fact, you might notice when you're in a lot of pain, you're short tempered, you're angry, you get frustrated, irritated. All your emotional chemistries get totally knocked off when you're in pain because pain directly affects your nervous system. When your nervous system is activated, everything changes. So you want to practice getting present. That is super huge. So presence eliminates pain. And if you don't believe me, I dare you to try it because you will be amazed. And I'm not even saying that you have to meditate. Whatever you need to do to find that you can get into presence. For me, I don't use, and I certainly didn't back then, meditations to get present. I know that's very common now. But for a lot of people, they feel like they become dependent. I didn't want to be dependent on any drug or anything. I wanted to go inwards on my own. So breathing is really helpful, focusing on the breath, and you'll just have fleeting moments, and those moments will expand, and then you become a master of being in presence. But just know that when you're getting realigned to the organic, it doesn't feel the same as when you are out of balance. So being out of balance and being in alignment, they're both, the alignment is going to feel like you're out of balance, but it's the other that's really out of balance. So you really got to stay clear on the focus, the goal, the direction, health, wellness, whatever it is for you. For me, it's about alignment, being in sync, being totally congruent within, and the outside world is just a reflection. That's why it's so important to be in the circuit of life and still participating in life fully, um, as it aligns with the direction that you're going. So I hope you found this interesting, helpful, and supportive in your journey, knowing that you're not alone. There are people out there that want to align. We're just not the majority, okay? So just know that I'm here. I'm here to support you and encourage you. And I'm on this journey of being in sync every day, all day long. So I am Kiana Sage, and I guide people to peace. If you need anything or have any questions, just reach out. Cheers to being in sync.